this is the one we're going to feed 2 of the worm farms with some citrus. And here's the first one. Now let me show you why we're going to do this one. Pretty much everything is gone in here. This is why I love these avocado skins, because the worms get into them. See what I mean? See what I mean? Well, that's interesting. They're onion skins, not being eaten. Oh, Jiminy cricket. Look at all, there's so many worms underneath here. That's a healthy worm farm. Okay, this is great because there's still a bunch of food in here. Just little bits though. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's why I love avocado pits. You'll just get a huge clump of worms. Now I'm gonna layer up both of these worm farms with some citrus. So here's some citrus I have in here. I've chopped up some of them and left them in the freezer. Here are some whole ones that have also been in the freezer. So I'm just gonna put them in like that. I've got some used lemon rinds that have not actually been, they've just been in the fridge. The flesh of the lemon has gone. And I'm also gonna put this one, which is kind of, it's got a bit of flesh in there. Now I have another one of those, so I'll put it in the next round. Last but not least, I've got a fresh lemon. Completely freshly cut. I just wanna leave it in there just to see. Here's the other thing. I'm just going to sprinkle them down just with a little bit of castings. So there you go. That line up there from the freezer that have been chopped up. That was so a lot of people suggested I do that. Here's another one. They're from the freezer, but they haven't been chopped up. Here are some that have been kept in the fridge. There are some fleshy ones here, and there are some brand new ones over here. Just got a little bit of worm casting sprinkled over them just to see how they're going to go. Great. So that's the first one. Cover all that up. So the idea here is that we've been told that worms won't eat citrus. So that's the first bin. Let's put this one away and let me pull out this one. I believe this one is really good, healthy worm farm. So let's just have a quick little look in. I think you'll find I'm correct. We've got a half-eaten, what do you call that? Carrot. Now here's the other thing, I don't want to disturb everything on this one. I'm just gonna place all my bits and pieces around. Chopped up frozen rinds. Some are starting to get a little bit funky, a little bit moldy. And then last but not least, I'm gonna leave those there and see what happens. My experience with lemon juice or lemon rind into the worm farm is the worms don't like it. However, we've heard and seen a lot from worm farmers about how in really, really big worm farms, you can throw citrus as well as chilies and onion and all these other types of food in there. So I'm going to say in small amounts, you could definitely put all that food in these worm farms, but this is just a bit of an experiment to see what they're going to do with a big collection of citrus rind. I'm just going to put it away. These worm farms are starting to get pretty heavy as well. I'll check back in on these citrus worm farms in a week and then probably another week. We'll just see how they go. Thanks, see you soon. Let's check out the worm farms. Let's do the first one. I did actually have a little sneaky peek in there, so I know what we're looking at. But check this out. Cool. Okay, so clearly you can see there's a lot going on in here already. The worms have actually stocked it up with more castings, which is great. It actually is a little bit citrusy in there. It smells a bit citrusy as I'm getting out all of these little seedlings. Here's the interesting thing. This is some lemon rind. How's that? Castings in there with a couple of worms, and the worms are going nuts at it. So they've definitely had a bit of a crack. You know, it's definitely been eaten a little bit. This one here, that's been chomped on. Now it hasn't all gone, but it's definitely on its way to going. Not surprising, they haven't touched the actual full lemons, like they're still there. Here's the other cool thing, is that heaps of the smaller rinds that were frozen, they've actually gone. So if you freeze them and you cut them up, that's telling me that's probably going to be a really good move, because heaps of that stuff is gone. How good's that? There's still a little bit here, but yeah, pretty good. Now it's a little bit moldy, but again, expected. So hey, that's gone great. Pretty happy about that. Let's check this one. Let's have a look over here. All right, we're all looking in. Let's go. Oh, interesting. Okay, so down here, these are the frozen bits that were chopped up. So they're a bit moldy, so that's very interesting. Different outcomes in both of the bins. I'm starting to think that this one over here, that one, they might have been a bit hungrier. This one, maybe not so much, but a lot of similarities. So we've got some mold going on down here. It's been eaten a little bit, but a lot of mold here and there. So yeah, very interesting. So they clearly haven't eaten it all, but over in this particular bin, this one over here, let me do that. No, let's not do that because you're going to be watching. So let's have a look at this bin down there. They ate all of that stuff, whereas in this bin down here, they didn't actually eat it. So really, really similar outcomes for both of them. And the worms are all looking pretty hungry in there. They're eating everything, and all of this extra stuff has been turned into worm castings, which is great. And here's the thing, look at all those worms. Healthy. Healthy, good. That's what we want. All right, we're gonna feed it, and then we're actually gonna come back and see whether they've eaten all of the lemon rinds. You know what I mean? See how super duper hungry they are. I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen if we leave it in there. Just to make sure the mold doesn't keep moving on. It's a lot there. Let's get over here. Have a look over here, please. Running a bit low on the eggshells. I got a whole bunch of like vegetables and just stuff, of course, from the greengrocer. So I'm just going to feed these two bins with all of this stuff. See how they go. Cool, that's that one done. Great. I'm just going to cover them up. I'm going to leave these alone for maybe another 2 weeks, and we'll come back and we'll see the outcome. But either way, I think it's going fine. The worm farm hasn't exploded, so I think we're doing great. Anyway, I'm going to put these guys back, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks, or in 5 minutes, because editing. And on. Cool. Let's have a look in here. Check out our citrus situation. Oh man, it's all gone. Wow. That's an onion. Look at all these worms in here. So many of them, so happy. But hey, look, that's really excellent. So we don't have any more citrus. How good's that? Unless I've picked the wrong ones. But I don't think I've picked the wrong worm farms. Wait, let's just have a look here. Because if I've picked the wrong ones, I'm suspect that I've picked the wrong ones. Stop. Let me go and have a look at some other worm farms. It's these ones. Turn that back on. It's these ones here. These are the worm farms that had citrus in them, and it's all gone. Like, it's all gone. Like, there's no trace of it whatsoever. Heaps of worms. Very happy about that. Like, what's this stuff? Oh, avocado. That's avocado. There's some plastic adhesives. Yeah, I would say that they've eaten the citrus in there. That's amazing. They've really chewed through it. Because I just went and checked the other worm farms and there's nothing in them. Why is all this adhesive just showing up? I wonder what it's from. I just checked the other worm farms that I've got. Nothing in there. Like, there's no sign. They were definitely not the ones that I definitely didn't feed them citrus. So hey, that's good. And now let's have a look at this one over here. Again, zero signs of citrus. There's no citrus. Citrus gone. Okay, well that looks like right there, they are seeds of lemons. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they absolutely do eat. And we even overfed them a little bit. Now I'm even curious, I'm more curious to go even harder and feed them even more citrus to see what they can handle. But they managed that over like a month. That's that experiment done. I think the next one we're gonna try is rice. So I think we're gonna have a look at that one next, because I do have a bunch of old rice ready to feed something. But hey, Thanks, legends. That's us. Turns out citrus is fine. If you want to see more though, like I want to see more, hit me in the comments. Let me know that you want to like overload the worm farms with citrus just to see what happens, because that'd be fun. Anyway, that's me. I'm going to move these because I've got a new spot for them to live now. So I'm going to move them over there, and I'm going to edit this video and put it up online. You guys are legends. I'll see you soon. Bye. That was actually quite surprising. I mean, gave it about a month. So yeah, I just didn't think they would eat the rind. I thought it might just still be left over. Prove me wrong. Turns out I don't know much at all.